My parents weren't happy with where we were living. We wanted a new start, so we moved to a new town called Maple Heights. It was a nice town. Most people were friendly. I moved here when I was 10. I met this same kid who lived on the same street as me. He seemed to be the same age as me, but I never saw him go to his house. We became best friends. We always hanged out and played at my house. One day, I asked him if we can go to his house today. He told me that's not a good idea because his grandma was sick. I asked about his parents and he started crying, so I never asked him about them again. It always crossed my mind of what happened to them and where they are to this day, but I didn't want to see him cry again, so I left it alone. It's now 8 years later and we have just graduated high school. I've never been the one to drink or throw parties, but my parents were out of town this week and my friend kept begging me. So I told him I'll throw a small get-together. I said it would just be me, him, and some of our close friends. He smiled and agreed. It came to that time when the party would come. I was only expecting a couple of people, but instead, a bunch of people came. I was getting pretty nervous because my parents were coming home the next day and everyone was drinking. Stuff was getting knocked down and the house was a mess. I got mad at my friend for inviting all of these people, and my friend told me that he wanted me to make more friends before he had to go. I was the kid who always did my schoolwork and never had any fun, so tonight I told him I would let loose if he helped me clean up before my parents got home. He agreed. I felt pressured to drink, so I tried it and then I started partying and drinking some more. Before I noticed, I was waking up and everyone was gone. I quickly looked at the time and realized that my parents were about to be home within 10 minutes. I started to panic because I still had the whole house to clean up. But when I checked the house, it was completely clean. I was so confused. I then found a letter from my friend telling me that he cleaned everything up and apologized that he had to go and that he would never see me again. I was very confused, so I tried calling him, but then I realized that he never had a phone. I then went to go visit the house my friend told me where he lived, but I was never allowed to go. I went over to the house, and it was a creepy looking house. I rang the doorbell, and no one answered. I saw that the door was open, so I went inside. The house was abandoned as if nobody has ever lived there. I heard some weird noises, so I ran out of the house. I came back home and decided to look up my friend on the internet and on all social medias. I came across an article of my friend and of his grandma. The article said missing 10-year-old boy who was never found. The article was from 8 years ago and was just recently updated. It said that the boy was never found. I said to myself, this is really weird. Then I looked at the date and it said 1847. I couldn't believe what I have just read. I asked my parents about that house and they said that a family of a 10-year-old boy, his grandma, and parents all were killed in the house. I asked my parents how. They said the boy killed his whole family, then went missing for 8 years.